Hi, this is Travis from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this clip on the Political Voices Network.
I'm feeling. I wore my festive Merry Erasmus T-shirt because I don't know. I this seems like a lot going on, right?
There's a lot. You're feeling it.
Jack
You're
Smith
feeling it.
on the
Maybe
move, right? Documents
an indictment Friday.
by tomorrow. That would be
Who
fantastic.
knows? I mean, it always happens when I'm done with my work week.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think Trump's lawyer leaving on the same day, right, that we find out that, the archives is turning over these, 16 documents, I think, Lordy, I think they're tapes, some of them, proving that
With proof.
Trump knew, about this declassification procedure. And as I always say, Dana, he just doesn't think any laws apply to him.
I think he also doesn't think that people, he's so much power. Oh, they're not going to check me. They're not going to check me. And now you've got someone like the archives coming forward and being like, oh, we're going to check you. We would check everyone. And here's the proof that you can't declassify just by thinking about it, sir.
Right, right. But I mean, proof that he knew, and
Yeah.
that, I mean, that would
That's a
seem
big
to
deal.
me
That
like
is a
you're
big
in
deal.
you're in the end stages, and I don't know whether that means his lawyer is now a witness, which is why he had to step down in terms.
That is a very fair question.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know whether it's part of the obstruction. I mean, I'm hearing some legal experts say this feels like an espionage case, just with the moves that
It qualifies under it now, which is a beautiful thing.
yeah. Jim Jordan's whistleblowers, are they testifying now?
Yes.
The ones that they could find.
But these are the ones who had their security clearances revoked because they participated in an insurrection.
Right. Are they aware what a clown show they are? I mean, seriously.
I don't think they are. It is laughable. Oh, we can't find 9 out of 10 of our witnesses. They don't exist. I mean, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Check under Marjorie Taylor Greene's 3 toes. I have no idea where they might be.
Or between her 3 toes. Ooh.
Yes. It feels justicey, doesn't it? It just feels like there's
Colludi Rudy's in a lot of trouble. It does feel like the bad guys are starting to have some consequences.
yeah. Did reading the Rudy stuff, did that make you gayer? Because it did me.
I was watching a few of Allison Gill's tweets, and I was like, I don't even want to. He's such a gross, disgusting human being.
Yeah. He really is, like on every level.
His fall from grace. And listen, we all know the truth behind New York, and that he was a corrupt mayor. He was, but during 9/11, he showed up in a way that the city felt like he was a respectable man. And then, wow, that fall from grace was slow and steady and long. Long.
Maybe because I started my career in Hot 97, everybody. Boys to Men tickets coming right up.
Good buddy, everybody.
Yeah, how you doing? Here's that Betty Boo do. Anyway, my point, Dana, is anyone that's from New York, I don't see it as a fall from grace. I think he's always been a dirtbag.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's always been a
Everyone knew
racist
he was a corrupt
dirtbag.
mayor, but the impression in the country was that he did a good job with 9/11. But I'm saying that New Yorkers and those of us that have been in radio and have been following politics knows that he was selling stuff a long time ago in New York.
Well,
it's not a surprise that he was trying to sell pardons. He's been doing this for years.
Yeah. I mean, but Dana, I was in New York for 9/11, and I would even take issue with that. I think we were all just so traumatized, certainly as a city, as a country. But, he just was the one that got his face on TV all the time. But
That's fair.
Those of us that lived
fair.
in New York were like, they told him not to put the command center in the Twin Towers. He was the reason that the police and fire radios didn't communicate. I just always think he got more PR than he actually. I think he was a racist jerk.
Steffi,
when
I
he was,
give you all that.
Yeah.
I love a good correction. I'll take it.
But
and you're right.
and I just remember even when I was on the radio back then, I remember his wife on camera crying because she found out on TV that he was like cheating on her and moving his mistress into. He's just always been a dirtbag on every level. I just, Anyway. So, in happier news, it just feels like justice is on a roll. We were saying like Eric Prince looks like he's been indicted in God knows where, what country, I can't remember. But, it feels like, it seems like it's been forever in coming. But I just, even like, where was it? In Jacksonville, that a Democratic mayor was elected. I feel like the media once again is failing us, starting with CNN on down. In terms of, there's been 2 polls showing Biden up by 7 points over Trump. You don't hear anything about him now. That one outlier poll everybody was going crazy about. And I just feel like this is how we got to this orange disaster in the first place, right?
I agree, but I do think that local elections, I think that there's elections that are happening and people are tired. Democrats are winning in places they hadn't held before. And that gives me hope. That really does give me hope, especially in places like Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, in all the talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene and George Santos, I think we should also remember this is the party of Paul Gosar.
Oh, yeah.
Who we've had his brother on talking about what just a complete racist lunatic he's always been, But so he says he wants to break the back of agencies prosecuting January 6 defendants. I don't think it's hyperbole, Dana, to say that they're terrorists. I mean, right now they're in the middle of being economic terrorists, as they always are when we're, flirting with default, right? And in some cases, they literally are either involved in the insurrection or supporting people that were, right? He was on, where was he? A right-wing radio host, somebody. So he wants to defund federal law enforcement agencies. He said Democrats said that January 6th was an affront to democracy. Well, if that's the case, it was an affront to the American people, and the people should be turned loose. We should take those tapes, allow the American public to see them, turn people in who were undercover. That's that crazy conspiracy theory that these guys just lost their clearance over.
Yeah.
And that's how you start breaking the back of this bureaucracy and hold people accountable. This is the first start of defunding some of these processes. They're anti-American. They're anti-justice. I think this is the perfect storm. Who was it? Tommy Tuberville just said we should just not have elections anymore. If people don't go to jail over this Bull Durham report, which, once again, proved nothing, right? No new
Absolutely.
charges.
And it's going across the board, whether it's Tuberville or Kerry Lake, everyone's saying elections they're not real. They're not real unless I win.
Right.
So they're doing this again.
And her
before
star
the
witness
2024 election
just blew up in her face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
She's a hot mess. My God.
They're just such frauds, all of them, and
Yeah.
liars. I mean, it goes on and on in terms of, I was just going to, God bless Dan Goldman. I'm so glad he's here. Let me just, him talking about the Durham investigation.
You want to talk about a waste of time and money. The John Durham investigation is an embarrassment, and it should go down as one of the biggest abuses of power and waste of money in the Department of Justice's history. But there's no confirmation bias here. Special counsel Mueller did an investigation and convicted people. They pled guilty or they were convicted at trial.
I mean, again, as how many people have said, we all know the FBI was biased against Hillary Clinton in 2016, not the other way around. I mean,
Absolutely. Comey, right before, it's amazing how they're just washing over history like we are going to forget. The Trump followers might believe all this stuff, and the GOP has to believe it because it's their talking points. But those of us who are actually paying attention know that none of this is true.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, did I mention they're also all liars? Alex Jones claimed
Jeez.
Wow.
on Steve Bannon's show.
Oh, God.
Wow,
Ugh.
that's
Those two together.
Some ring a
that
bell.
is,
we just whatever part of us wasn't gay after the Rudy Giuliani thing just got gayer thinking of those two.
Oh, yeah. Those two together.
He said residents of liberal areas of Texas have been approaching him in public to express sympathy for his legal and financial embarrassments.
What?
Do you believe 1 second of this?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
He said, I go to the most liberal areas of Austin now that I've avoided for years, and some of the best restaurants without even security now. And I literally go in a restaurant, almost everyone comes over and says, we're sorry, we were wrong. We know the government's evil. We know the country's been hijacked.
Not a single person
In
has come
Austin.
up to him.
No, never.
To talk to him about
Did not happen.
anything.
He said, I took my wife out to dinner with some friends last Thursday. Almost everyone in the restaurant came over.
Oh, my God.
And black, white, Hispanic, old, young. And then I walked to the parking garage, ran to 3 groups of people. And black, white, Hispanic, every group said, we love you. We're sorry. We used to think you were bad.
I mean, if you're going to tell a lie, maybe try and make it a little more believable.
Pepper it with a little
and
bit of
then I went
truth.
to the parking structure, and after that, in my car, I was stopped on the freeway by a cop that just wanted to tell me how much he loved me, and he's real. And then after that, oh my God.
Someone thinks highly of himself.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade. It is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and health care benefits. Fool me once. Let Majority Rule was responsible for this message. LetMajorityRule.org is a project of the Marvin Lucas Super PAC, which is responsible for and paid for this ad and is not affiliated with or authorized by any political campaign or candidate or candidates committee.